Greetings, everyone. It is, yes, my favorite time of the week, my favorite time of the month, Being Brown at Work Live. Hey, for some of you who are new to me, I'm Linda Talaferro. My business is called The T, The Extra Effort, and this is the Being Brown Live podcast. Being Brown, Being Brown at Work Live. I am so excited, as you can see, struggling to get the title out because when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about in December, it immediately became apparent to me, which is why I titled this what I did. Based on all I'm seeing on social media, the thought process that we somehow need to either stop, pause, give up, quit, and it's not. It's not the time to shrink. Look, I know this has been a year. Look, I know it's been a year. It's been a year for me. So I know it's been a year for you. But when I reflect on this year, although it has been that year, there's been some progress made. If I were to look at the previous year, there was progress made. Now, I know as you hear me saying that, you're saying, yeah, Linda, progress was made, but is that going to be enough going into next year? Because, yeah, this was a year, but next year, look, and I'm side eyeing you, right? So I know because we're all thinking the same thing. Next year is going to be that kind of year, and maybe the subsequent ones as well. But I am and have always been, even early in my career in the 80s, when there was clearly no one that looked like me that were CEOs of like Coca-Cola or IBM or Walmart, Walgreens, who had major roles in tech companies. Didn't look like me back then. Women were not CEOs of major automotive OEMs as they are today. So when I look back even in the 80s, I thought this was not possible, what we've experienced over the years. And did it take a long time? Yes, I get it. Have we really moved the needle? Yeah, we moved it. Have we moved it enough? No, we have not. Get all of that. But the reason why the needle even moved as much as it did is because we didn't shrink, is because we didn't give up, is because we looked at the glass half full and knew what was possible. And so I'm going to offer for you this time as well as we go into 2025 to take that frame of mind, irrespective of what lies ahead for all of us, or if you're looking in your sphere yourself and you know exactly what you're about to step into, irrespective of that, think about the possibilities, know where you came from, and know definitely where you can go. And that starts with that self belief, right? That knowing that you know that you bring worth to the table. Doesn't matter what table you sit at. You can bring your own chair because you bring that value, that worth. Knowing that you know that self confidence, right? That is what is going to fuel us as we run into potential, well, they won't be potential, they're going to be real obstacles that lie ahead, efforts that are going to be real intentional around reversing initiatives that has allowed, the women to lead organizations, major organizations that have allowed brown and black women to have significant seats. Predominantly women in general, those initiatives helped. Not didn't help so much brown and black women if we were to really peel back the onion, but because we were so focused, fortified, resilient, which I know some of you are tired of that word. I love it, I own it. Resilient in knowing that we know, we move those needles for even those of us, brown and black women, right? I want you to continue that level of self-confidence as we go into 2025. We've got to really level up our voices. We can't be shy. We don't know, like my title says, not the time to shrink. We can't be shy. We can't be reserved. We can't be second guessing, or maybe I shouldn't say that. No, how you say it's important, don't get me wrong, but it needs to be said, right? So bringing light to issues, fact based, and then having solutions. So amplifying our voices, really using the power within a collective voice. And when I say collective voice, that's what I'm saying all of us coming together in our spheres of influence on platforms, collectively bringing light to issues and providing the solutions and being part of those solutions as well, actioning them out. Extremely critical as we go into 2025. So don't shy back. You'll see me out here. Join me. And if you need help in establishing that for yourself, send me a message. Let's connect. I'd love to help you find that within yourself. It's going to be transformational. The other thing I would offer, and I know you guys, you hear me say this all the time. You've heard some of my guests say it. I'm going to keep saying it because there's so much power in it. Relationships. Relationships. We are not in this world alone. No man is an island. We don't do these things alone. The needles that removed that I mentioned included other people moving things out of the way. Other people seeing you, seeing something in you, seeing something in me, and creating the opportunity while we went for it, while we were showing up in our excellence every day, while we were walking out and demonstrating our worth and our value. People were creating opportunities because we built those relationships, because we took the time to connect, because we took the time to share what our vision was for ourselves, and because we took the time to be part of the solution as well that was needed within our companies. And then those individuals saw something, opened doors. Some doors we didn't even know existed. I know I had a door open for me, didn't even know existed in a company, didn't know they were looking for a director for a division. And I was a business unit manager, and they were about to hire someone externally from the company, but somebody internal who knew me, who I built a relationship with, said, wait a minute. There's a person here, Linda Talaferro. You may want to meet her before you extend that offer to anyone. So it opened the door for me to become an executive, enter into those executive ranks and become a director. That relationships are everything, everything. I share another personal experience. I have my Ross degree because a company paid for it through a relationship, a sponsor, person that I had come in contact with. I was walking in my brilliance, in my excellence, doing my thing. He saw something and became a sponsor. No idea that was going to happen. And even when I wanted to go to Ross, they were sponsoring somebody else. He picks up the phone and calls University of Michigan and asks them, can they defer my acceptance? They usually don't do that. But because he was committed to my education, to my leveling up in my career, they did it. I joined the year later, 100% paid for by the company. Relationships. I've got several clients, if they were to pop in now, they would share with you transformational things that happened to them, information they were given, opportunities, special assignments, connections. Some of them occurred within the company they were in. Some of them occurred later on in their career. Relationships are everything. And as we go into this next year with these additional challenges that we're going to have, internal in our workspaces, external to us in our workspaces, relationships, you're going to need your network, because wearing a cape and being superwoman, one, it's impossible. It's just a feat that is just impossible. You'll stress yourself out above and beyond. You talk about burnout. That's burnout, right? That is burnout when you try to solve every single situation alone, when you try to do this career journey thing alone. So, relationships, amplify using your voice, not shrinking, not being shy, not shutting up, not giving up, walking in that confidence, walking in your excellence, and leveraging your relationships. Extremely critical as we go into this next year. It's exactly extremely critical in every aspect of our career journey. But when we have internal and external influences or roadblocks, it's even when we need it even more. We need it even more then in those times. Now, you heard me say walking in our excellence. We do have to be good at what we do. I mean, I say that's a price of entry, but there's some of us that I talk to that, for whatever reason, still are in this boat of, oh, it's just owed to me. No, not really. It's not. I mean, you got to be good at what you do. And 9 times out of 10, my audience, my clients, we are, right? And that's not recognized. And I know that. And that's when you've got to then speak truth to power. You've got to make it be recognized. You've got to hold people accountable when they're not recognizing it. Hold them accountable to that. And when you're doing it in truth, there's no reason to be fearful. Well, we know what fear is anyway, right? False evidence appearing real. So that doesn't exist in this career journey that we're on, right? We don't have any of that false evidence happening. So there's no reason to be fearful when we're standing in truth and we have evidence of that. So you don't allow people to discount, discredit, disparage, separate, minimize. There isn't a place for that. And we're going to have to take our confidence in all of ourselves, intimate confidence we have in ourselves, and stand in that confidence when we're bringing those things to light, fact-based, and calling them out so they can be dealt with, right? Because those things, it's so important. What prevents you from shrinking is exactly that. When you see something that is happening that is not correct, deal with it. Deal with it confidently, professionally, fact-based, in your high emotional intelligence and executive presence. And I guarantee you, unless you are just in a group of people that are hell-bent on being toxic and they're going to destroy everything that comes their way, well, then we know that means pivot time to exit out of that environment. But if you're not in that environment, I guarantee you the dynamic, the paradigm, the landscape will shift. So I wanted to come on in this live today, and I thought, I don't want to be preachy, but at the same time, I'm really passionate, as you can see, about wanting to make sure that we don't just decide to check the box and say, okay, we've gotten this far, it's all we're going to get. It's not true. If you aspire to be a director, you can and will get there. You take all the actionable interpersonal skill steps along with doing your job in excellence, being good at what you do. Obviously, the education's already there. You can get there. If you want to be a vice president, same thing. If you want to be an EVP, if you want to have a board seat, all those things are possible. They are still going to be possible, even when things look like they're not going to be. They're still going to be possible. Even in the midst of whatever potential roadblocks are in front of you, you can knock the roadblock down. You can go around it, over it. It's possible. Key is you've got to know that it is. And you've got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to do the work. That's why I call my company the extra effort, because it takes that. For Black and brown women, it takes that. It's no joke, that extra effort, but it's worth it. And it's within us to do. And we deserve. We are absolutely deserving, without a doubt. So I implore you, if you were at all thinking about, like I said, checking the box and saying, hey, this is where I'm going to get, this is where we are as Black and brown women, in this corporate journey, This is it, we need to be satisfied, or, I'm tossing it in, I'm out, you know. I respect that if that's your decision. I hope most of you stay because we won't shift the landscape if all of us exit. That's for sure, right? But if you're going to stay in this because you know you're worthy, you know you're capable, you know you're deserving, and walking the excellence and not check that box, I'm here for you. And we can do this together. And I know that I know that I know because I've seen it happen numerous times. When you implement some of the things that I've just said in this live tonight, and you're standing in that very high EQ that you stand on within yourself, you will become that director, you will become that VP, you will acquire that board seat. And you'll look in the mirror and say, "Yep, I didn't shrink. I did not shrink. It didn't matter what came at me, didn't matter what came around me, it didn't matter what people tried to throw at me, it didn't matter what I heard. I didn't shrink because I'm worth more. I'm worth exactly what I envisioned for myself." So, everyone, I know this has been a year, like I said in the opening. Next year will be a new year with some new challenges that we definitely are fully equipped to face head on. I would love to engage with any of you. Please send me a message. Some of you have been sending messages on LinkedIn. I really appreciate that. Let's converse. Let's talk about this. Send me an email. If you want, if you need any particular one-on-one help, we can talk about that as well. But like I said, collectively, let's keep this ball rolling. Let's keep this ball rolling where we can increase the percentages of us, Black and Brown women, leading in as our authentic, fabulous, phenomenal selves. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I'm up for 2025, and I know you are too. So let's do this thing together. There's no such thing as shrinking around here, right? No such thing. Okay, y'all, until next time, hey, I wish you the happiest of holidays. I'm excited about January 2025 for Being Brown at Work Live as well. I got some new topics coming up, some phenomenal guests across industries, finance industry, lawyer, legal industry, the service industry, medical industry, tech industry, everywhere. Manufacturing, obviously, near and dear to my heart. And we're going to tackle some subjects, some critical subjects as we always do, with the focus though of giving you actionable steps so that you can be successful when dealing with them and help you take the next step in your career. So I'm so excited. Hang in with me, join me again in 2025. But in the meantime, take some time over this holiday, exhale a bit, decompress, get some love, energy around you with family, loved ones, and let's get ready to go. Because what did I say? This is not the time